He's been explaining about the three eras of Buddhism. First era is proper Dharma era, where people, that's about when the Buddha was in the world until 500 years. Okay, so during that time, people practiced and were very strong in samadhi, and they certified to the fruitions, many fruitions. Okay, and then the Dharma Semblance Age, which is 500 years after the Buddha entered Nirvana until 10,000 years. No, 500 years later. So, right? 500 years, I think. Yes. Yeah. And so during that era, people were weaker in samadhi. So they mainly practiced blessings, and the better kind of blessings were to build temples, adorn temples. That's called Dharma Semblance Age. And then the third era is the Dharma Ending Age, where we are. It's about 1,000 years, and until 10,000 years later, where it's Dharma ending, meaning the Dharma is retreating. People no longer are interested in learning Buddhism, in cultivating, and they simply fought each other. And they're very good at fighting. They excel at fighting. So that's where we are tonight, on slide 64.
多恩坚固以后，就是斗争坚固。现在人与人都斗争，你不和他斗，他和你斗，看，这末法时代。
After strong in many hearing is strong in conflict, people are fighting with each other. Even you don't fight with him, he fights with you. Ah, this is Dharma ending era.
末法时代能有我们这么多的人来学习正法。
In the Dharma ending era, we can have so many people come to study the proper Dharma.
No, it's just one comment about this, fighting thing here. It's interesting to observe that, because people's natural tendency is to fight each other. I remember when we were at Lu Mountain Temple, and we were starting out the first few years, and we were struggling to have our identity. So the children who went there, I remember Joseph and Jared, they used to fight each other. And even Helen, I believe, was she there? Yeah. They were fighting, and Jerry would come to his mommy and say, "Mommy, Joseph is mean to me, and he kicked me, and he beat me up, and stuff like that." Joseph, "Oh, no, I didn't. You started it." So they were fighting constantly. And nowadays, you notice, they don't fight anymore. It has to do with the qi, the spirit in the temple, where if the adults don't fight, so the energy of the temple is more harmonious. So naturally, the kids will not be as querulous or as fighting, quarrelsome, not querulous, it's French. It's quarrelsome as they are. So yes, when they come, they might have some residual fighting tendencies, but after a while, they don't fight anymore. So part of the nature of fighting of people is the atmosphere, the energy of the place. So after we instilled our way of cultivation, because we took over the temple from Master Hsuan Hua's disciples, so we the fighting was constant. People fighting, complaining constantly. Now they do fight, they do quarrel, but not as obvious anymore. Because every time they see me, when they're in the midst of fighting, they immediately stop and say, "Hi, Master, how are you?" They appear very pacifistic and happy just for a few moments, and that helps. Okay, my point being that it's the environment that has a big influence on our psyche. Whether you're an adult or a child, it's easier to observe it in children.
晓得参参打坐，不怕一切的辛苦，用功修行，这是也是不可思议的境界。
To learn investigating Chan and meditation, to be not afraid of any hard work while applying efforts and cultivating, this is also an inconceivable state.
And again, people fight because they feel that's the most important thing. That's very important for them to get what they want. And in Master Hsuan Hua's temples, he started it. People came and they were presented with this challenging task of practicing meditation, which is so difficult, so challenging, that they don't have enough energy left to fight. And besides, they get a lot more out of it from practicing Chan meditation than fighting. Okay, and if you put all your energy and effort in doing something that's difficult for you, you really don't have anything left to fight with others.
Mm-hmm.
不可思议的境界，是要从这个不可思议的这个痛苦中来的。
This inconceivable state needs to come from this inconceivable pain and suffering.
所以，我们现在呀，打起精神来，和这个不可思议的这个痛苦来作战到底，一定要胜利。
So, we now need to elevate one's spirit to fight this inconceivable pain and suffering till the end. We must prevail and obtain benefits.
And that's what when I was my prior life as a lay person, there's an expression here in this country, which is very appropriate, but even though it's not as accurate as what my master describes it. The English expression is to rise to the occasion, to rise to the challenge. Okay, so it describes a state where when you're faced with a challenge, you rise, you bring yourself up, you raise your level in order to cope with it. That's a worldly dharma. My master's teaching is a lot more subtle, a lot more accurate. You elevate your spirits, okay? Because Because so it's sort of like shifting gear, if you will. You have a normal gear in your normal day life, and when you, for example, when you face with, I give an example, if you face with danger, you face with death, imminent danger, immediately you shift gear, don't you? That's what I notice. Okay, so part of this training here, the secret here is that you go to these places, His way places, you confronted with this challenge, this monumental task. It's very difficult to do. Okay, so naturally you elevate your spirits, you lift your spirits. 打起精神. This is what he constantly reminded his pupils, because the environment, the work, the training is very challenging. Okay, it's more than you can handle. It's more than you can take, and therefore, naturally, if you see that and you really want to succeed, okay, then you 打起精神, you lift your spirits, elevate your spirits. So you shift gear. Okay? Okay? And like when you drive our cars and climb a mountain, I'm not talking about your fancy sports cars. I'm talking about my Toyota, my Hyundai. Okay? When you climb the hill of Highway 5 there, going through Grapevine, my Toyota, it wasn't long before it's like, and you have to shift down gear, right? From 5 you go to 4 and then 3, okay? And that's shifting gear there because you really have to crank it up, okay? That's what 打起精神 is, okay? And if you do that, okay, then is this a new slide or is it the old slide? We haven't talked about this yet, right? We have? Okay. And why do we do that? Because this prevail here is what? It appeals to our instincts of fighting, okay, of winning, okay? And at first, it's about survival. All right, and if you prevail this challenge, these difficulties, if you prevail, then you gain benefits. Okay, if you struggle, if you strike up your spirit, you elevate your spirits to rise to the occasion, when you shift your gears, okay, you naturally obtain benefits. So do not be afraid of the hard work. Do not be afraid. It's too difficult for you. It's supposed to be more than you can handle. And that's the nature of our Chan training. Okay? It's not supposed to be comfortable. I shudder when people say, oh, I feel so good, and I really enjoy your meditation. And for us, it's only very short duration, very short-lived. Most of the time, we struggle, okay? Because of that struggle, that's how we improve. And when you improve, that peace and bliss increases. So we struggle so much. It's just like our normal life. We work 8-10 hours a day, okay, to enjoy a glass of wine or a glass of champagne and caviar, whoever you are, depending on who you are, okay? But the point is that we work hard in order to reward ourselves. It's the same kind of process here. You have to work hard. You have to struggle. Give your all, okay? If you do that, you will, in our environment, be guaranteed that you will prevail eventually, okay? And along the way, you attain great benefits. So that's why this is what I feel. my master's disciples, those people over there, they fail to understand that. Because it's not for this is not the worldly dharma. The world, you're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to be struggling. Okay? And it's not for everyone. It depends on who you are. You want to gain benefits, you have to be willing to, on this slide here, elevate your spirits, rise to the occasion, okay? Endure the pain and suffering, endure the boredom, okay? Someone said, I don't have any pain anymore. I said, oh my God, how nice it is. You don't have any pain anymore, you still have one more thing, you're bored to death. Okay, you still need to endure it. Okay, you endure the boredom until the boredom goes away. So this inconceivable pain and suffering until the end meaning until it goes away, until it ends. And that's when you will prevail, and that we will attain great benefits. The benefits keeps on increasing. It's fascinating to practice Chan meditation because as you struggle, it's kind of hard, it's hard on you, but then you look forward to that glass of champagne, you will, or that glass of wine, or that mug of beer, if you will, okay? Or that slice of pizza, okay? Whatever turns you on. So that's your reward right there, okay? And so we have to earn it. Okay? And think about it. This is fundamental in the nature of a human existence. We struggle in order to get ahead. So if you struggle, the great news is that there is a way of practicing meditation that the Chinese masters figured out, that they put us in this method of doing Chan, this environment of doing Chan, where you're supposed to, we should be bragging about it, that you're supposed to struggle, you're supposed to find it so difficult that you have to face this desire to quit, okay? And run away, and give up, okay? And if you don't, okay, and you keep on striking up your spirits, elevating your spirits so that you fight a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, naturally you will prevail and we will obtain benefits. Unless you want to stay at where you are, then there's no need to apply efforts. All right? Continue.
讲这个第37组，在中国呢来计算，这是第10组。
This 37th patriarch, by Chinese calculation, is the 10th patriarch.
在我们这个本宗来讲，就是维养宗的初祖灵月禅师。
In our book, to us, this is the first patriarch of the Weiyang lineage, Chan Master Ling Yu.
Okay, can we stop here? There's one point here that I need to ask our Chinese experts. the mountain is called Wei Mountain, okay? W-E-I. But the lineage is called Wei Yang lineage. Is that correct? It's the same spelling, you know, the same Chinese character, but it translates differently when you Romanize. Yes? Yes, go ahead.
So, Wei is from Weishan. Yang is a different place. So they combine the two, called Wei Yang.
Right. But how come, see, when we do, you know, now Weishan is W-E-I,
Yes.
Weishan, okay? But the Wei Yang here is spells differently. It translates differently. Is that correct? That's what I'm told.
That may be I don't know if it's passing along, and the proper pinyin will be Wei W instead of Gui.
Yeah, the pinyin for the Weishan is W-E-I.
Yes.
But the Wei Yang, according to my master's association, his area, they spell it as Wei Yang like this. Anyone else has any input about this?
It could be the dialect, the pronunciation.
It's the same Chinese characters, Wei, Wei Yang. But I don't know why they use this G-U-I instead of W-E-I spelling. Yes? Think?
So I researched about this before.
Yes.
And
Please share with us.
There's two Weishan. One is called Weishan. One is called Guishan. It's at different locations, but according to the locations, Wei Yang lineage was developed in Weishan, not Guishan, but people mistakenly use Gui because there is such mountain as Guishan.
So this is a mistake?
That's what I read in one of the articles.
We are propagating, we're preserving the Chinese mistake. Should we?
And people can research more and let me know, but that's what I read.
The reason that I really admire these great masters, that couple, the pair, Weishan and Yangshan, they are extraordinary teachers. So that's why we need to honor their gifts, their contribution, the Chinese Chan. Okay. Yes, Ping Pause.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Rainbow Shannon, you're having feedback, so you need to mute your computer.
Computer. Instead of Wei Yang in Korean, Wei Yang, some people write Hsuan instead of Wei San. So the mistake from China has inherited to Korea.
Infected Korea, like the virus?
So I was wondering the same because I was researching to translate the correct version of Wei San, and then in Korean it's Wei San, and then people keep writing Hsuan. I'm like, why is it suddenly Hsuan now Wei San? But then the China character is the same. So now it seems like we did the same thing from Chinese. So FYI.
Okay, so what do we do? So you Koreans decide to preserve the Chinese mistakes? You have the same mind. Why not? It doesn't matter that much anyway. You just don't want to be disrespectful. That's the main thing. Okay, continue, please. Yeah. Hopefully we get more input in the future.
这个灵佑禅师，他生来呀就与人不同。怎么样子呢？
This Chan Master Ling Yu, he was born different from the others. How so?
他做小孩子玩耍的时候，他呀做这个拜佛的游戏，带着一班小孩子来拜佛。
When he was playing as a kid, he played this bowing to the Buddha game. Led a group of little kids to bow to the Buddha.
念经，学着出家人念经这个样子。
To read sutras, read sutras like a left-home person.
It's kind of strange because I wonder at the time if they had sutras really for kids to read, because back then there's no really print and press. How is it possible? At this time. Yes.
Sorry, Master. I think here read sutra I should have done as recite sutra. I don't think he's reading from the book. He's probably just reading from memory, following other people.
Yeah, recite sutras, not reading sutras.
Right.
I don't think they have the books themselves, the sutra books themselves. I doubt it.
So 所以一般人称他，这他叫小和尚，这时候还没出家呢，小和尚。有一天呢，
So people called him the little monk. Hadn't left home, hadn't left the home life, little monk.
他就在那个前边院子里边玩耍。
One day, he was playing in the front yard.
就在那儿造庙，拜佛啊，什么这样。这时候在虚空里边呢，就现出锐气祥云。
He built a temple, bowed to the Buddha there, like this. At that time, in the empty space, appeared propitious qi and auspicious clouds.
祥云锐气，就在他这个上边这儿徘徊缭绕，就在这总不去，在这转来转去都。
These auspicious clouds and propitious qi were just above him, hanging around and circulating, just there, won't leave.
是在他这儿，这个祥云锐气呀，不到其他的地方去。
Just there, circling back and forth where he was, this auspicious cloud and propitious qi wouldn't go to any other place.
Another point of that I'm curious about is I noticed my master, when he spoke the Dharma, he tends to repeat it twice. Is that because of the way the people in that area spoke, or is it by design? If you are Chinese speaking, you look at the way he speaks in Chinese. Is there some sort of emphasis that why he keeps on repeating the same thing? You know, and I'm glad that you didn't edit that, because I would drive me up the hill. Don't edit anything. Just repeat whatever the great teachers did. Okay, preserve it. But is there a reason why he keeps on repeating this, as from a Chinese teaching perspective? That's Orange.
I believe this is his personal style.
Okay. Personal style, meaning that he does it so to appear colloquial, to reduce tension, to convey that it's not a big deal, or what? Because to me, because the way I listen his sound and the way he keeps on repeating this, it seems to me that he's making it, what he's teaching is so profound, and yet he made it sound so casual. He delivered it so casually. Okay, and that's why his pupil didn't catch it, you know, because it's too casually delivered. Okay, go on.
又听着这个祥云瑞气里边呢，就好像天耀明空似的，奏这个天上的音药。
Also, heard inside the auspicious cloud and propitious qi was like heavenly music in the sky, playing this heavenly music.
在虚空里头奏音药，这样，又好像看见有这个佛的真身呢。
In the empty space, playing music as such, it was also like seeing this Buddha's true body.
在这个祥云瑞气里边呢，来忽隐忽显。
Inside this auspicious cloud and propitious qi, suddenly hidden, suddenly appearing.
好像那个陈兴果，他有一天在菲斯诺呢，他看见观音菩萨。
Like that guy, Chen Xingguo, he saw Guanyin Bodhisattva in Fresno one day.
他回去拿照相机，想到那照个相的时候，没有了。
He went back to get a camera, wanting to take a photo there, but it was gone.
就是这个陆校长他那个儿子，他也根基也不错的。
He is this principal Lu's son. His root is also pretty good.
这时候不单他一个人看见，就有很多的 这个男男女女、老老少少的这个人呢，都看见呢这种情形了。
At that time, not only he saw it, many other men, women, old and young people also saw this phenomenon.
这个祥运瑞气在空中这么不散。
This auspicious cloud and propitious qi did not dissipate in the sky.
正在这时候呢，也不知道从什么地方就来这么一个老人。
Exactly at that time, from nowhere, it came an old man.
这个老人呢，看那个样子，就是从山上下来的。这个老人，又像云南人的样子。
This old man looked like an old man who came down from the mountain, also looked like he's from Yunnan.
他就说：“他说呀，哦，这是啊，十方的诸佛呀，众圣啊，在这个地方现。”
Then he said, "Oh, all Buddhas and sages from the 10 directions."
这个祥运瑞气，这种灵异的境界啊，他这个小孩子啊，这就是佛的真正的儿子。
Manifesting this spiritual state of auspicious cloud and propitious qi, said that this little kid is the true son of the Buddha.
You know, in the Chinese tradition, Chinese Buddhism, when they call true son of the Buddha, you know what that means? Anyone? Chinese-speaking people, you know what that means? True son of the Buddha, yes, orange.
肉身菩萨。
That's right. It's a bodhisattva. In Buddhism, you are not called a true son of the Buddha unless you're enlightened. Okay, it's a big deal. The Buddha has all kinds of sons, but the true sons are the ones who are the bodhisattvas. Go on.
这个小孩子就说灵佑禅师啊，将来呀，他一定会令佛教大放光明。
This little kid, Chan Master Ling Yu, in the future, he will for sure make Buddhism emit great light.
And that's because, is it just Buddhist talk or what? Great light. Emit great light. Is it just talk? Is it just bragging or what? The Chinese, they don't brag. They're very subtle. They say these things because what it means, it really means is that wherever he was the Wei Mountain, there's a very bright light that emits. Okay? From where he resided. So that is if you open your spiritual eyes, it's just like remember a few nights ago, we heard about Guiji. Guiji is much lower level than Master Hsuan. Okay, he himself emitted such a great light already. Just imagine that this great Chan patriarch, can you imagine how far, how much more brilliant, how much brighter his light would be? Okay, so it is a fact. It's not just BS or they're just saying that as propaganda. They're describing these people. They're very factual. You see that wherever he was, whatever Dharma he was preaching, okay, there's tremendous light associated with that. All right. You need to appreciate the Chinese language, the way these people they speak of these things. That they have hidden messages. They're very factual.
Uh, 说完了这话，他父亲母亲也都听见了，也认为是很奇怪的。
Finished saying these words, his parents all heard, also thought it was very strange.
那么这个老人呢，说完了就这么弹了四下手指。
What does it mean? Chinese people, how do you do that? We want to make sure when we make a movie, we make the right movement. Huh? What does it mean? Can someone demonstrate for me what does it mean here in Chinese? Like that? Like that, huh? Not like this? Like this. I see. Okay. Thank you. All right, go on.
像这个祥云瑞气啊，这个老人也没有了。
Towards the auspicious cloud and propitious qi, then this old man was also gone.
结果这些个人呢，就都认为这个是小和尚，不单是小和尚，而且将来一定是个大和尚了。
So these people all believe this little monk is not simply a little monk, but in the future will sure become a great monk.
So what really happened here? It is my interpretation, okay? Because some case in some these great masters' biographies, and some of them just live a normal life, but this great master has so many strange occurrences. But the most interesting thing that I'm discovering here tonight is that there's an old guy, an old man who came and flick his fingers, okay, 4 times. I don't know what it means, okay, and to the auspicious clouds. So the thing I noticed is that whatever the old man said, he made sure that what? The parents heard it. Okay? So why? To save time. Later, this boy here will decide to lead the home life at a very early age. And usually the parents say, over my dead bodies. Okay? So that's why these people have to come pave the way for him to convince his parents not to be in the way. Because usually typically, when people lead the home life, they have a lot of resistance, obstructions from their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, right? It's from the family. The biggest obstacles are from our own families. And so they made sure that the parents were supportive and will not stand in the way. And they have to manifest this energy, the lights and whatever, to reinforce the message. Question from the internet.
Master, how do we develop the skill to read between the lines?
How to develop the skill to read between the lines? I don't know how other people do it, but I used to read a lot of novels. German authors, Japanese authors, French authors, very unusual people. So that's why my imagination runs wild, typically. Yes.
How can we read a story and understand the underlying principles?
How can we read a story? This is the same person that is not willing to let go. How do you read a story and understand the underlying principles? I wouldn't know. If you will, in other words, since I can't seem to evade giving you an answer, and I can't continue to beat around the bush if this person refuses to let go. You ask me if they are alluding to whatever I'm saying, it's all BS. It's sales pitch, you will. I'm selling Chinese Chan. I'm selling my admiration of this fantastic teacher. He's just incredible teacher. You cannot tell. You have to look at his students to tell how great of a teacher he was. You cannot see the great teachers. You can only see his students. Go on.
他就也不干旁的了，在这个大约16、17岁的时候，就到那个福州，就是他那个本地方。
Thus, he didn't do other things. When he was about 16 or 17 years old, he went to Fuzhou, which was his hometown.
这个灵佑禅师呢，是福建的，长溪的，他姓赵，徐家姓赵。
This Chan master Ling You was from Fujian province, Changxi, which is suburb of Fuzhou. His surname before leaving the home was Zhao.
他那地方就拜有一个法衡律师和师傅，在那儿就行苦行。
At that place, he bowed to that Vinaya Dara Fa Heng as master and practiced asceticism there.
You see, again, this is the first time I heard of it as well, just like you. And I'm amazed at the preparation that this young man, young Chinese man, underwent at the age of 16, 17. He shaved his head, and then what did he do? Circumstances brought him to learn from under a precepts master, which is the foundation. Okay? So he's very, very knowledgeable about the precepts, rules of morality. Okay? That's part of the wisdom. Either you learn the rule of morality and then eventually develop your wisdom, okay? Or you develop wisdom, and when you look at the rules of morality, you understand them. So the point being that in Buddhism, this Vinaya, our Vinaya, is at the core of our makeup. Okay? And is the core of our teaching, our training as well. Okay? And so that's why this monk here is very knowledgeable about the Vinaya. I need to point it out to you because it's very unusual for this young man to do that. And then he practiced asceticism, okay, which is one of the main forms of Buddhist practices, okay. That if you couple that with studying Vinaya, it's an incredible combination. And for someone who starts out learning about Buddhism, this is a fantastic way to build their foundations, because this is applicable to those of you who feel that, for example, you live a home life and you don't know how, you cannot find someone who teaches you, who trains you on Chan, okay, on meditation, on sutras and so forth. Okay, I would recommend the Chinese have it. We don't have it here in this country. The Taiwanese have it. The Chinese have it. I prefer Taiwan over China personally. You need to go, and if you don't have anyone teaching you Chan meditation, do like he does. Go and learn the rules of the Vinaya, the rules of morality. Okay, that's the foundation. Okay, and when you go to those places, they teach you about liberal meditation. And for all practical purposes, it's too childish for me personally. But, so what did he do? He practiced asceticism. This is self-taught, self-practice. All right? It's kind of interesting. So without really a great, good knowing advisor, he learned the fundamentals first. He learned Vinaya and asceticism, practice asceticism to build his foundation, build his base knowledge. Very sound basis of training. Go on.
他所行的苦行，每一天是勤劳功苦做，他不怕工作多。
The asceticism he practiced was to diligently do hard work every day. He was not afraid of too much work.
他做的这工作总比其他的沙弥呀、比丘啊做加倍，这是双倍的。
The work he did was always double or multiple what other novices or bhikkhus did.
甚至于他一个人做的工作，其他3个人不能做他那么多的工作。就在这行苦行。
Even the work he did by himself, 3 people cannot do as much as him. Thus, he practiced asceticism there.
行了3、4年苦行，他就落法出家了。
After 3 to 4 years of practicing asceticism, he shaved his hair and left the home life.
出家之后，他20岁落法出家。
After leaving the home life, he shaved his hair and left the home life when he was 20. 那么23岁，他去受的戒，受戒律。 Then, at the age of 23, he went to receive precepts, received the precepts.
受戒之后，在那时候杭州有一个大善知识。
After receiving the precepts, at that time, there was a great good-knowing advisor in Hangzhou.
他就跟着这一个大善知识学这个戒律。
Then, he followed this great knowing advisor to study these precepts.
学戒律以后，他就想到天台山GuoQing寺去修行。
After studying the precepts, he then thought about going to Mount Tiantai, GuoQing Country Pure Temple to cultivate.
走到半路上，就遇到是HanShan了，HanShan大师。这HanShan那个样子，疯疯癫癫的样子，就对他讲了。
Then, halfway to GuoQing, he met HanShan, the great master HanShan. HanShan has this crazy look. He told him,
Yeah, HanShan also, for those of you who are not Chinese, HanShan is also a very famous Chinese Chan master. 所谓千山万山，玉坛在指。
he said, passing numerous mountains and rivers, stop once you encounter the deep pond. Deep pond is the Chinese tan.
得无价宝，丈许诸子。
When you attain priceless treasure, assist and comfort all beings.
千山万水，他说千山万水呀。
passing numerous mountains and rivers, numerous mountains and rivers.
你欲谈才止，你遇到这个谈呢，就要住在那里。
You should stop once you encounter the deep pond. When you meet this deep pond, then you should live there.
你得到啊无价宝，你这无价宝啊，可以来布施给一切的这个人。
When you attain priceless treasure, your priceless treasure can be offered to all people.
丈续诸子，也布施给丈继啊这一切的众生诸子，也就是众生。他也不明白，他就一边
Assist and comfort all beings is to offer and aid all sentient beings. All beings is also all sentient beings.
走路就一边念这几句千山万水。
He didn't understand. Then he just walked while reciting these sentences.
欲谈才止，得无价宝，丈继诸子。
Passing numerous mountains and rivers, stop once you encounter the deep pond. When you attain priceless treasure, assist and comfort all beings.
等走疲倦了，他就坐在那个地方打坐，打坐也想这几句话，什么道理呢？
He walked until he was tired. Then he sat there to meditate and also to think about the meaning of these sentences.
So you see another clue about how you should take advantage of these teachings. HanShan, great Master HanShan, a very famous monk. HanShan made a very strong impression on the young Lineage and gave him some verses that he couldn't understand. Now, nowadays, if you don't understand, you guys keep on asking and asking until you're happy. Okay, you will not let go. Whereas back then, in Chinese custom, these great cultivators, they don't understand. Okay, they don't try to understand right away. So what did they do? They memorized it. Okay, and they what? Contemplated. Okay, while walking, and when they're tired, what do? They reach out for a Mars bar. Went for the vending machine, get a cup of coffee. There's nowhere to get cappuccino back then. So all you have in the midst of nowhere is meditation. You know a clue? When you're tired, you can do the same thing right now. You don't need to go for a candy bar or some sodas. Okay? Meditate. Right there. Even at that time, Venerable Lineage's Kung Fu is very low because no one ever really taught him how to meditate yet. And even when he was tired and hurting, in pain, he meditated. Okay, and you have to understand how to receive the great teachings and show your gratitude for great teachings. It's not meant for you to understand right away. The profound teachings require a long time for you to get it. It might take years. So all you can do is, number one, stop trying to understand right away. Okay? And what do? Since you cannot understand, and the clue is you have the great teachers. They say something. Great Master Hsuan Hua said something. Master HanShan said something. Master Lineage said something. So you memorize it. And you keep in your mind. You keep on regurgitating it. That's what's called contemplation. In Chinese, this is a description of this process called contemplation. Is it clear? When I was practicing, I didn't have your blessing, so I have these words called contemplation, guan, and I asked around, I said, what is guan? Because it keeps on coming up in meditation. No one could explain to me. No one. And you are so blessed. I keep on, flipping over these concepts, present from different angles for you to see what it really means. It saves time. I pondered for years. And if you do practice meditation, you teach meditation, you don't even know what guan is, how can you possibly teach meditation? And this is the process of guan right here. At that time, he's ignorant. At that time, his level is very low, lower than most of you. Okay? And that's what he did. Okay? Guan, memorize it. Okay? And keep it on thinking about it. Okay? Yes, internet.
Should we choose one thing to contemplate at a time until we understand before moving on to the next thing?
No. If you do that, you don't have enough time in your life. You're going to die. You're going to be so old and have Alzheimer's before you can really penetrate these things. You only contemplate. The teachings are given to you. The teachings bestowed upon you. Continue, please.
青山万水，玉坛栽植，得无价宝藏，丈许诸子。
Passing numerous mountains and rivers, stop once you encounter the deep pond. When you attain priceless treasure, assist and comfort all beings.
好了，咱们走，一边走一边参这几句话，他就到了果清寺。
Then he walked like this, walked while investigating these sentences, and arrived at GuoQing Temple.
GuoQing back then was a huge temple, national temple. Okay, it's national purity temple. Or is it purity or is it natural celebration? I don't remember. GuoQing is celebration, purity. Okay, thank you. Okay, so he got there. So he was given homework while he's walking instead of wasting time. He's contemplating a riddle. Okay? An oracle, if you will. Is we on to new topic, or because we out of time? Yeah, I think we stop here. Next time we pick up from 120. Okay. Any final questions or comments? Okay, so we are getting details on how, on the history of the biography of this great monk. It's a real treat to me personally. I didn't know this. I read bits and pieces here and there, but not at this kind of details. So it's a real treat from Master Hsuan Hua. I don't know where he found these things. He's fantastic. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you all.